Hello, this is Ann Peak. I've got another journal done, and I've got a new arm for my camera, my iPhone. Not quite figuring out how to get my picture in the whole frame, so we'll just kind of make do. The cover was a pillow sham that was quilted, and then I found some antique lace. Well, this first one is an antique lace, the one on the cover, but there's some other laces here that were just, I got some tops at Goodwill and tea stained them, took them apart and got the lace off of them and just tea stained them. So it makes a nice lovely little lacy cover for the journal. This journal is going to a friend of mine. And then you open it up, and I've got the inside was a cloth fabric. I use that fabric fix to glue the fabric to fabric or fabric to paper. And then the inside, I've got a couple of journaling cards, and this is just a paper pocket here, and I made it a little bit so she could stick in some extra items in it. And then this journaling card and the one in the back section was actually made from some cards that are going to come up later that I cut down to fit some envelopes that I found, and I'll show those to you later. And this was a postcard I had, a little piece of ephemera, and of course I use the ink to make them look a little bit older. I don't typically get old materials, I just like them to look old. And then it was a Victoria Designs paper pack I used. I don't know the name of it. I think it might have been something Shabby Rose or something like that. But I used it, and I printed on both sides of the paper. And I just use Office Depot premium matte finish presentation paper, and that works out very good, and it's got a really nice smooth finish on it. So I also tea dyed some ledger paper, and this was my first little pocket here, a glassine envelope. And I just have a little flower on here I've got from AliExpress. And AliExpress has lots of things, but you need to be careful what you get. Need to read the descriptions very well. But these are little journaling cards, just pictures I just put on watercolor paper, and they can go in a pocket. And then over here is some tea-dyed music page and some old music paper. I think that might have been a book I had at one point in my life. And then here's the tag that goes with it. It's and I use some papers throughout the book, and then I like to use kind of a dark, light, dark, or light, dark, light theme when I'm doing decoration, so that shows a little contrast. And of course, I try to ink around things too. And here's another one of those little flowers. They're just stickers, but it makes an easy decoration. So here's another page from the paper pack. And this was a shipping tag, excuse me, not a shipping tag, a repair tag, because the bottom is perforated. You could take it off, but I just glued it on 3 sides and made a pocket out of it. This is a little thing I also got at AliExpress, and it's just kind of like a little fold-up little note thing. It's not legal mail, but you can always stick it in someplace. I guess that's the right side if the heart's up. It's got a 2 there and a from upside down on this side. Okay, I hope I'm in frame. Let's put that back. And then at a Goodwill store, I got some sight cards. So they say sight words on one side, and a few there's quite a few cards that I've tea dyed them off. And then also add some more ink around the edges. Here's a pocket I got from Amazon. I don't know the name of the supplier, but it was an Amazon find. I think I watched one of those Amazon haul movies or something, and then I got it from somebody else's recommendation. So here's the tag that goes in it, and this one I put a butterfly sticker on it. And this one is not shiny, it's just that matte, like a washi tape finish. And this one is the straw paper from Italy, Roxy's Creations, and I sent off for some of that. You get quite a large pack of it. So here's another page in the kit, just kind of a plain page, a little nondescript on this side and glue on that side. Now this was a page I tea dyed, but I used a plastic placemat and sprayed tea in a spray bottle over it, and then let it dry. And so the back side kind of soaks through too. And then this one was is a pocket that I made from some Trivia Pursuit cards. I've tea dyed some of those, and I will be using those in other envelope or other journals too. But you get a lot of them, so if you find other ways to use them, please pass them along. So here's another little journaling card. This was the envelope. I got several, they look really old. I got off at Amazon. And this was the card that was in it, or excuse me, that I used in it. And I got these cards, I think, at Tuesday morning, and then I cut them down to fit the envelopes. And then I had strips of that card left, and that's what I collaged to make it interesting on some other paper that I collaged to make some useful papers I could do pockets with, or journaling cards in this case. This page was avocado dyed. I tried several of these dyes. I want to do the cabbage dyeing soon. Just got to find the time to do that. This is a little ruffle I made from brown scraps of paper, and then I just did little strips of paper that were off something else, and then just sewed it. You know, you just kind of bunch it up and sew it along. And then I sewed that onto this avocado dyed paper. This is a coffee stained doily. And this is another page out of the kit from Victoria Designs. And you can see what beautiful papers they are. Someday maybe I will get into digital design, but that's a long way off and a lot to learn. Okay, and now on these, I left the strings long when I did the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And I've got some I think this is a starfish and just a key on these two, and those other ones on the other section and the other signatures. So here's the other part of that Victoria Designs paper and the doily. Now this one on the avocado dyed paper, this was a library card pocket that comes with a card, and that was an Amazon purchase. You can find those on Amazon. I just put a little paper up at the top, and they did a little decoration on the front. And here's more of that, where I sprayed the tea stain on it. That's inside, and here's outside how it looked. I did find out on that when I did that you have to wipe off the plastic mat that you're using, because then all of a sudden you're dripping more tea on than you want, and it just becomes a whole total tea stain paper. So here's more from the DigiKit. This is the other part of the straw paper. And this is the tag that goes with it. And see, I've just changed it up a little bit, and I use those the stickers, flower stickers from AliExpress. And this was a book page, and I think the other side of it, on the opposite side that we've already gone through, just says appendix or something. It might have been covered up already, but this is a good page. I tea-dyed it. She can just write on that. Here's another page from the Victoria Designs. I think there was enough so I could have 4 sheets that were printed back to back in the book. And this side is all pink. Here's the music page and the ledger page. And here's the last page of leaving the signature. And you can see it's got lots of roses, I think, in this one. So it might be Chevy Rose or something, but I'm pretty sure she still has them. Victoria still has lots of designs. Now, I had quite a gap when I put these on this book. I probably could have done more signatures, but even as it is, it's a fat book. So I just put I had put just some fabric to cover over the hinge of the book to make it, because that was just cardboard piece. So I wanted the cardboard piece, and I put cloth on it this way to help protect that so it wouldn't wear out, hopefully. And then I just put some lace down on there, glued that down just to be a little interest in the section so it wasn't so boring. So here's the start of the second signature, and here's the ledger paper. And this is where I used this repair tag again, and the same little envelope. And this is a sight word with. This is the music page turned over, and here's the card that goes with that. Here's the kit picture. Here's another envelope. You get several designs on them, but they're all like pastel pictures. So our pastel prints, either polka dots, plaids, stripes. So they worked well with these other colors of this book. And here's this tag. I'll put this book back together when I get done. And so there's the other part of the book page. She can write on that or glue something in herself. Here's a straw paper. Here's a part of the Victoria's Designs book. Here's another one of the sprayed pages where they sprayed with tea. Now this one I used a bingo card. It was my own personal set. We haven't used it in years. And I just thought, oh, what the heck. We'll just tea stain them and use them. And then I've got some cards in here. These are just some little journaling cards and little lady's head. Just ink around them. And I just use the Tim Holtz Distressed ink. And I think my favorite one is either the ground coffee or the photo one. That, what is it? It's photo something. Anyway, it makes it look antique photo or something like that. Here's avocado dye, and I did the same, kind of put this strip on here that I had already made previously. And the coffee dyed doily. Here's another page from the Victoria Designs. And here's the Victoria Designs again. And I just love all the layers that they've got in here. I can't imagine how many layers they had to do. They've got lace in the background. It looks like an old sheet of paper, and the flowers coming in. Envelope on here, and more flowers down here. So they really do a good job on their designs. And so here's the other part of the doily, and avocado paper. And here's the library card pocket. I used to make them just out of scrapbook paper when I first started off, or just plain paper, music page, or book pages. And they made lovely little ones. And I'd line them usually at the top with something, so when you opened them up, there was something in this area. But now that it's an official library card pocket, I don't do that. I may do that again. So here's the front of this page. Here's the Victoria Designs page. And here's the, this one is the straw. And see, I have used a different stitch on my sewing machine, and I don't have a real fancy machine. It is a Brother machine that does both sewing and embroidery. I have not figured out too much of the embroidery, but all of a sudden I saw other people in their tutorials were using their embroidery machines and could do a little design on here instead of just a straight stitch of the zigzag. So I thought, well, let's try it. So this one I happen to have, I get these cat treats, and they come with, there's a seal over the top of the jar, and so I've been saving them, and they're kind of like mirror finishes, and I wipe them off, and then just tear it so it makes a little different, something different in a book, and then put some yellow flowers on here. Again, that was a sticker, and this was some cheesecloth behind here. Okay. And here's another pocket here with another one of these little envelopes. I think there might be about 8 different designs. You get several of them. And then the inside card, there were so many different cards I used. I could just cut them down and use them, and they all went very well with this kit. And then, with this journal. And then this was just to look like it was just a little business card or something. This is old looking. I mean, it looks like it's an antique, but it's not. As you can tell, it's just white. It was a piece of family pack I bought from someplace. So here's more paper from the paper pack, because this was the book page. I try to alternate the paper pack papers with the papers I added. So here's the paper pack. Here's the music page, the journaling page, the ledger page, and here's the end of our second signature right there. Now here's the start of the third signature, and I typically will do a 3-signature book. That to me feels right. Although if you just do 1 signature, and by the way, I forgot to share the dangly downs in this section. What do I have here? I have a star, and I believe this is a little shell like with a pearl on there, and I think I just got those at Walmart. It might have been Walmart, or it might have been Michael's, just in case you're interested. So we'll go back here to the third signature. Okay, so the third signature's got lots of detail on the Victoria Designs. Okay, and then a blank in here, kind of, and then here's another one of these, and this time the word card says there, and it's just the sight words. I thought that was a good find. Maybe I'll share them with some people someday. Someday I'll get an Etsy store going, and maybe I can send out packets of some word cards that are already tea stained. And here's the tag that goes in this music pocket. And here's another Victoria Designs. It looks like lace down here. And this side is pretty bare. And here's the tag that goes in this pocket. Like I said, some of these are plaids, but they're all the pastel colors. And here's another one of those stickers. You get quite a few stickers, flower stickers, when you do get those from AliExpress. And here's the straw paper and the Victoria Designs paper. And here's the third envelope I used on this little set. And then what I put in here, this was a card. Like I said, they were just regular size note cards that I got. They had regular white envelopes, and I got those at Tuesday morning. And then I just trimmed them down so there would be cards that would go in these envelopes. And then there's a little piece of ephemera, just a little card. And here again, that was the Trivia Pursuit card that I just covered with paper and inked it around to make it look older, and it has a good look. So here's another avocado dyed with this trim, continued. Sometimes I just sit down when I got lots and lots of scraps, and that's how I take care of them. It's just, and then you just roll them up and stick them in the drawer for when you need them. Here's another Victoria Designs paper, and this was the center section here. So we got one on that side and one on this side, and should have two charms down here. And one of these is a shell, like a clam shell, and the other one is, I believe it's a little seahorse with a little pearl on there. And here's Victoria Designs, and here's that part of the coffee stained doily. And here's the library card pocket. Now this pocket was a little bit larger. I had to cut off, I think my pages typically would be, if I'm using 8.5 paper, 8.5 by 11 papers typically, then this is only going to be like 4.5 wide if I did that right. But anyway, I had to cut off a 1/2 inch on this on either side. And I've done that before, and then I just take the top edge and round it out so it makes it even looking. It makes it look like it was meant to be there. I just glued the sides together. Okay, it's not a big thing. And then you don't have to make those pockets. And then I just made a little booklet and add a little place just for tea stained paper that she can write extra little notes, or those hidden little things, those little treasures that she wants to keep in there. It's a good way to keep things hidden. And then I had, these were from Ali Designs. They have some cloth embroidered flowers of different kinds, and I also tea-stained them. They came in really bright, and since I like to do the journals that make them look old, I wanted to dull them down quite a bit. So those are dulled down, and you just put some pictures on there too. And this one has a pocket. I just glued it on 3 sides so that there's a pocket in the back, and I'll put that back together there. But it's just a pocket inked on the back, so there's more journaling space. Okay, and here's that tea stain paper that I just sprayed. And here's the Victoria Designs again. Here's a straw paper pocket, and there's the tag that goes in that. I just used some of the avocado paper as that background on that one. And here's another design on my sewing machine. And it wasn't hard to do that one at all. So once I figured it out, and believe me, if I can figure it out, you can too. So anyway, there's just a book page that's in there and tea stained. It can be written on, or somebody can glue something else in there. This is Victoria Designs, music paper, back to the ledger paper, and back to the last page in the book. You can see it's got a postcard on the back of it there. And then on the back of this one, I just made another one of those cards out of, glued those all on like a masterboard, and then just cut it down, rounded the corner, and inked the back of it. Again, it makes it look old. And then these were just 2 pieces of ephemera. I just put it in the book. So and so that's the book. That's the last of the book, and it is kind of thick. I think it'll still be fine sitting on a drawer. That's kind of right in your face, but it could stand up, and it'll be kind of wide mouth. And so that's the book, and I hope you enjoyed the flip through. Thank you.